Stopped chasing. Not because desire is wrong, not because wanting connection makes you weak, but because chasing pulls your energy outward. And what you seek can only truly feel you when your energy is anchored within. When you chase, your attention fragments. Your worth becomes something to be proven. Your presence becomes something to be negotiated. And your essence becomes quieter than your effort. The truth is, nothing meaningful is drawn to force. Everything meaningful responds to alignment. You were never meant to run after being chosen. You were meant to be felt. And being felt is not about volume, performance, or persistence. Being felt is about coherence. It is about your inner world settling so completely into self-recognition that anyone who enters your orbit senses you without explanation. When you stop chasing, you stop leaking power. You stop asking the external world to confirm what you haven't yet decided internally. And in that stillness, something shifts. Your energy becomes magnetic because it is no longer searching. Let these affirmations move through you, not as words you repeat, but as states you inhabit. I am grounded in my own presence. I am not reaching, I am rooted. I do not pursue attention, I radiate truth. I am enough before I am seen, before I am chosen, before I am responded to. Feel how these statements slow your nervous system. Feel how they return you to yourself. This is where influence is born. The more you validate yourself, the less you demand validation. The less you demand, the more others feel safe to approach you freely. Desire wants space to breathe. Interest wants room to move toward you. When you chase, you collapse that space. When you pause, you allow curiosity to arise. When you trust, you invite resonance. I am calm in uncertainty. I am relaxed in the unknown. I do not rush connection. I allow it to reveal itself. These affirmations are not passive. They are powerful because they rewire your posture toward life. Notice how different it feels to say, I am open, not eager. I am receptive, not needy. I am present, not waiting. Presence is what people feel before they understand why they feel it. Your silence, when rooted in self-respect, speaks louder than pursuit ever could. Your ease communicates value more clearly than explanation. I trust my timing. I trust my worth. I trust that what is aligned moves toward me naturally. When you stop chasing, you stop performing versions of yourself for acceptance. You become consistent, and consistency is felt as safety. Safety is felt as attraction. Attraction is not something you manufacture. It is something you allow when you are no longer abandoning yourself. I stay with myself even when I want connection. I choose self-honor over self-betrayal. I am steady, not reactive. I respond from wholeness. Feel the shift when you say, I do not compete for attention. I am attention. I do not prove my value. I embody it. I do not overextend to be remembered. My presence leaves an imprint because it is real. These are not ego-driven statements, they are truth-driven anchors. They return you to the center of your own gravity. People feel you when your energy is undivided. They feel you when your emotions are regulated, your boundaries are intact, and your intentions are clean. I am clear in who I am. I am peaceful in what I offer. I am unattached to outcomes, yet deeply aligned with myself. This balance is rare, and rarity is felt instantly. Let go of the urge to check, to chase, to control how you are perceived. Release the habit of leaning forward energetically. Sit back into your being. I am at ease in my body. I am secure in my heart. I am whole in my solitude. From this place, connection becomes a choice, not a hunger. When you embody these affirmations, you don't need to announce them. They live in your posture, your tone, your pacing, your eyes. They live in what you don't say and what you no longer tolerate. And that is when something powerful happens. The right people don't just notice you, they feel you. They feel you because you are no longer trying to be felt. You are no longer scanning for reactions, no longer measuring your value by response time, tone shifts, or attention given. You are settled, and settled energy is unmistakable. It communicates confidence without declaration, depth without explanation. I am centered even when I am silent. I am steady even when nothing is happening. I do not abandon myself to be chosen. There is a quiet authority that comes from self-containment. It's the difference between asking to be held and being someone others want to hold on to. When you stop chasing, you stop oscillating between hope and disappointment. You become emotionally predictable to yourself, and that inner reliability makes others feel grounded in your presence. I am emotionally safe with myself. I do not rush intimacy. I allow connection to unfold at its natural pace. Notice how power returns when you say, I am not afraid of distance. I am not threatened by pauses. I am not unsettled by silence. Silence is not absence, it is space. And space is where longing grows. Space is where appreciation forms. Space is where people begin to notice how you linger in their thoughts without effort. I allow space without fear. I trust what is meant to stay. When you no longer chase, you stop explaining yourself into exhaustion. You stop justifying your needs, softening your boundaries, or reshaping your truth to remain desirable. You become clean in your energy. I honor my needs without apology. I speak clearly or I remain quiet. Both are powerful. This clarity makes you felt because it removes confusion. People feel calm around clarity. They feel drawn to certainty. Your presence becomes an experience rather than a request. You are no longer asking, do you see me? You are stating energetically, I see myself. And that self-recognition creates a mirror others can't ignore. I am deeply aware of myself. I am comfortable being seen without performing. I let others meet me where I am. Chasing is loud. Being anchored is audible at a deeper frequency. It's felt in the way you listen without needing to impress, the way you speak without urgency, the way you leave conversations without trying to secure the next one. I release the need to secure outcomes. I trust the impression I leave simply by being real. And here's the subtle truth. When you stop chasing everyone, not just one person. You stop chasing approval, reassurance, certainty, and future promises. You come home to now. I am present in this moment. I am fulfilled here. I am not waiting for something external to complete me. Fulfillment is magnetic because it has no agenda. People feel you when your energy is not split between who you are and who you're trying to be. They feel you when your self-respect is non-negotiable, when your attention is selective, when your time is honored. I choose where my energy goes. I do not overgive to feel secure. I allow reciprocity to reveal alignment. From this place, attraction is effortless. Interest deepens naturally. And even if someone does not move toward you, you remain intact. That is real power. I remain whole regardless of response. I am not diminished by disinterest. I am affirmed by my own alignment. This is how you become unforgettable, not by chasing presence, but by embodying it. Not by asking to be felt, but by being so rooted in yourself that feeling you is unavoidable. And in that rootedness, something even deeper begins to happen. You stop romanticizing potential and start responding to reality. You stop attaching fantasy to attention and start valuing consistency. Your nervous system learns that peace is not boring, it is powerful. I choose peace over emotional intensity. I choose alignment over anticipation. I choose depth over drama. These choices refine your energy until it becomes unmistakable. When you are no longer chasing, you listen differently. You hear what is said and what is avoided. You feel what is offered without projecting what could be. You are not blinded by desire because you are not desperate for fulfillment. I see clearly because I am not attached to outcome. I discern calmly. I trust myself to walk away without collapsing. That self-trust is felt before words ever are. Your body language changes. Your breathing slows. Your eyes soften. You stop leaning forward energetically and start holding your ground. I am comfortable taking up space without demanding it. I do not shrink to be accepted. I do not expand to be noticed. I simply exist as I am. And authenticity, when unforced, carries weight. People feel you when you are congruent, when your words, actions, and boundaries speak the same language. There is no confusion in your presence, no mixed signals, no emotional static. I am clear, I am consistent, I am emotionally available but not self-sacrificing. This balance makes people lean in because it feels rare and real. You no longer rush to respond to messages or moments out of fear of being forgotten. You trust that what is meant to connect will not be lost by a pause. I move at my own pace. I respond when it feels aligned. I am not afraid of being misunderstood by those not meant to understand me. That confidence quiets the need to explain yourself into exhaustion. And when connection does come, it meets you at your level, not at the level of your longing. You are met with respect because you are no longer negotiating your worth. I receive effort with ease. I allow others to show me who they are. I do not overfunction to compensate. This allows truth to surface quickly and cleanly. You become someone people remember not because you chased them, but because they felt calm, seen, and energized around you. Your energy leaves a signature because it is undiluted. I leave impressions without trying. I am memorable because I am genuine. I trust the impact of my presence. Even absence becomes powerful when it is not weaponized but chosen. You do not disappear to provoke reaction. You step back to remain aligned. I withdraw my energy when it is not honored. I do not punish. I protect. Protection of self is felt as strength, not coldness. This is the paradox. When you stop chasing, you do not lose connection, you refine it. You stop attracting from lack and start attracting from fullness. I attract what matches my wholeness. I welcome what meets me in truth. I release what requires me to abandon myself. And so you remain open but not exposed, warm but not self-erasing, interested but not invested before alignment. I hold my heart with care. I offer connection without attachment. I am open without urgency. This is the frequency that makes others feel you deeply, because it feels safe, grounded, and undeniably real. You were never meant to be pursued by effort alone. You were meant to be felt through presence, integrity, and self-honor. And when you live these affirmations, not as words, but as embodied truth, you don't chase anymore. You become the still point others move toward without knowing why. And from that still point, life begins to reorganize around you. You notice how little you need to do for things to reveal themselves. Conversations either deepen or dissolve without effort. People either step forward with clarity or fall away without drama. I allow truth to show itself quickly. I do not cling to ambiguity. I do not chase consistency. I observe it. You stop mistaking intensity for intimacy. You recognize that calm does not mean disinterest. It means regulation. I feel safe in calm connection. I do not equate chaos with passion. I am drawn to steadiness because I am steady within myself. This shift alone changes who feels you and how deeply they do. Your standards become quieter but firmer. You no longer announce boundaries, you live them. You don't threaten to leave, you simply don't stay where alignment is missing. I do not warn, I decide. I honor my inner signals without delay. That decisiveness is felt as self-respect, and self-respect is magnetic. You begin to enjoy your own energy so much that sharing it becomes selective, intentional. You are no longer available out of loneliness, but out of desire. I enjoy my own company. I do not use connection to escape myself. I invite others into a life I already value. This changes the quality of who enters it. People feel you when your attention is intentional, not compulsive, when you listen because you're curious, not because you're trying to secure a bond, when you engage without strategizing the outcome. I am here because I choose to be, not because I fear absence. Choice carries a frequency that effort never will. You stop trying to be unforgettable and become impossible to confuse with anyone else. Your uniqueness sharpens when you stop adapting yourself for acceptance. I do not dilute my truth to be digestible. I allow myself to be fully expressed or not engaged at all. Authenticity has edges, and those edges are what make you real. Even your desires change. You no longer want to be wanted. You want to be met. You no longer crave attention. You crave resonance. I desire mutuality. I choose reciprocity. I am available for connection that honors both people equally. This clarity speaks louder than longing ever could. And when someone feels you from this place, they don't feel pressure. They feel invitation. They feel grounded. They feel curious. They feel drawn without understanding the mechanics of why. That's because your energy is no longer fragmented by chasing. It's whole. I am whole in my presence. I am coherent in my energy. I am aligned in my intentions. You trust that what recognizes you will move toward you, and what doesn't is not a loss, but information. I receive information without emotional collapse. I adapt without self-abandonment. I remain open without losing myself. This balance is rare, and rarity is felt instinctively. So you continue living, speaking, moving, and choosing from this anchored place. Not waiting, not forcing, not performing, simply being. And in that being, your energy does the work for you. Quietly, steadily, undeniably, allowing the right people to feel you before they ever try to find you. When you know you're the one, something fundamental shifts inside you, and that shift rearranges the entire world without you lifting a finger. This knowing is not arrogance, and it is not bravado. It is a quiet recognition that settles into the body, a calm certainty that does not need proof, permission, or pursuit. The moment you know, truly know, you stop asking life to choose you because you realize life has always been responding to what you assume yourself to be. You see, the world is not reacting to your words or your actions as much as it is echoing your inner agreement about who you are. And when that agreement changes, everyone and everything has no choice but to follow. Most people spend their lives trying to convince others. They chase attention, validation, love, and recognition as if these things exist outside of them, as if they must be earned through effort or sacrifice. But the one who knows they are the one does something entirely different. They withdraw their energy from the chase and place it back into themselves. They stop asking, will they choose me, and begin living from the assumption, of course they do. Not as a hope, not as a wish, but as a settled inner fact. And the universe, which never argues with your inner state, rearranges itself to match that assumption. This knowing is not loud. It does not announce itself. It does not threaten or demand. It simply is. When you know you're the one, you no longer feel the need to monitor behavior, read signs, or decode silence. You stop checking your phone with anxiety. You stop replaying conversations. You stop wondering what you should say or do to make something happen. All of that effort dissolves, because effort is only required when you believe something is missing. Knowing removes the sense of lack. And where there is no lack, there is no resistance. There is a deep psychological and spiritual law at work here, though it feels more like a mystery until you experience it. Consciousness is the only reality, and the world you see is a projection of what you consent to internally. People do not choose you because you persuade them. They choose you because you have already chosen yourself in imagination and feeling. When you know you're the one, you are no longer trying to get into someone's mind. You are occupying you. our own mind completely, and that occupation sends a clear, undeniable signal. Think of how different it feels when you walk into a room knowing you belong there versus hoping you will be accepted. Nothing outward has changed, yet everything has. Your posture is different, your tone is different, your presence is different. Others feel it without being able to explain it. This is not because you are doing something to them, but because your inner state is doing something through you. When you know you're the one, your very being communicates certainty, and certainty is magnetic. This is where what people call telepathy begins to make sense, not as a supernatural trick, but as a natural byproduct of shared consciousness. When you assume yourself to be chosen, desired, and central, that assumption is not locked inside your skull. Consciousness is not private, it is universal.